Here is my friend Jonette Crowley.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. I move around. So, do you like my Romanian clothes?
Yes.
I knew you would recognize it. So 2 years ago, when we were doing our sacred expedition on the top of Omu Mountain, where the Sphinx was, we stayed the night in the hut. And in the morning, I channeled who is my main spirit guide. He's called White Eagle. And I wanted to read you his words because I think they're a message for all of us in these times. And my microphone is slipping down my neck. All right. So imagine that you've hiked for a day. You didn't take the cable car. You hiked, and you're at the top of Omu Mountain, and it's cold and misty, even though it's September. And there's an opening to the other worlds, and this is what you hear. This mountain is a place where spiral energies emerge from the earth. It is a place of fire and light. You are invited to become like the fire, asking that your mistakes and darkness be burned away. Let a solar... Yeah, right. Okay, give me the other one. Within your core, moving up and down your spine. At this moment of light, you become the circle of fire. You are not alone, for many groups are called to sacred circles of service. The message of the mountain is that truth can be covered but never destroyed. Patience and right timing will always uncover hidden darkness. As you journey here, aspects of your hidden self become uncovered to truth. You arrive burdened, and you leave naked. The mountain asks you for courage, because the circle of fire is not for the coward. Humankind has become cowardly because it has become fearful. If you choose to help become redeemers, you must first be courageous in your heart. Compassion requires the greatest courage. If you have compassion without courage, you are pretending. We have more power than we think. And we've been afraid of power because in the past it's been used for control, right? We try not to have too much. We try to dodge power. And I'd like to give you a new model. I go to sacred sites all over the world where the energies are very high. And so I receive inspiration at these places. And this model I will draw for you came when I was meditating at Machu Picchu. So imagine... a triangle. Not so good at drawing. Imagine that it's a crystal, a three-sided crystal, and the base is a triangle. And the base has 3 points. The first point, and it's always in this order, the first point is love. We always must start with love. As I channeled in that previously, you must have compassion. Compassion and love deconstruct all non-compliant systems. Let me say that again. Compassion, the energy of compassion and love, deconstruct. It's a nice word for destroy. All systems that are not resonant with compassion and love. And that might be what we're seeing happening in this universe right now. Once there is love, that becomes the energy for this pyramid. The second step of the base is wisdom. First love and then wisdom. Wisdom is truth. Wisdom is embedded in the universe. It isn't facts. It isn't information. It is something much higher than that. When you have love and wisdom, then you have the third point of the base of all of us. The third point is power. In the past, the reason we were afraid of power, it was never or rarely based on love and wisdom, right? So imagine that now we have a solid base. Love, wisdom, power. Love gives the energy, wisdom gives the direction, the result is power. So what does it support? What's the pinnacle of this pyramid? And in this model, we're going to say the pinnacle is service. Service is also your mission. So say you want more love and wisdom and power in your world. What do you think you have to do with service? Any ideas?
Getting higher.
Exactly, getting higher. Because if you have a very small vision for the world, very small mission, very small vision of service, then you can have a very little triangle because it doesn't have to hold very much. But if you have a grand vision, and you do here at Atlantykron, and you're here for a very big reason that you don't even know until it happens. When we have a high mission or service, what happens? Our triangle has to be bigger. We're given more love. We're given more wisdom. And we have more power. So what's very interesting about this is it's dynamic. It starts here. They connect and connect. And it creates a vortex of creation. And maybe we understand ourselves. What I think is that our self keeps getting bigger, so there's always more to understand. What I'd like to do, power. I brought my English book, but the eagle and the condor is in Romanian. 2 birds. Several years ago, I led a group to Machu Picchu, and we were hiking the Inca Trail, which was difficult because you have many high mountain passes. And Ed and I are from Colorado, so we're good at hiking. But some of the people were from Holland. It's very flat. They weren't so good at hiking the mountains. So we were late. 5-hour hike was already in the 8th hour, and we were not to our camp. So some of the fast hikers were already at camp. We were 1 day from Machu Picchu. And the slow people were way behind, and I was somewhere in the middle by myself. And I thought, I'm the leader. I should go help the slow people. And then I realized that the leader forgot her flashlight. So I thought, I can't go back. I can't help them. It's getting dark. So I'm going to pray. But I prayed in a unique way. I sat there on the wall. The Incas built chairs every once in a while. That was nice. I sat there on the chair, and the jungle was all around. The sun was just going down. The moon, full moon that night, coming up. And behind the jungle in the valley were the snow-covered Andean mountains. So I sat there, and I decided to pray like a leader. I held out my arms, and I said to the universe, I command safety and light for my friends. I didn't expect an answer, but I'm a professional at hearing voices in my head. So the voice I heard came from the most spectacular mountain, an amazing mountain. And the voice said, "We have waited to be commanded." I start shaking. I start crying. What is this? How does a mountain wait for me? I'm a little white girl. I'm not even Peruvian. The mountain waited for our command. And I realize we've become disassociated from the earth. We've become disassociated from our bodies. And we have forgotten the power of being united. Does that make sense? The next day, I climbed a hill, and I went and I asked one of the local Peruvians, I pointed at that mountain. I said, "What's the name of that mountain there?" And he goes, "Oh, that is called Salcantay." I said, "Okay." I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "That means the wild one, the mountain that cannot be tamed." So imagine, the wildest, most powerful mountain said, just because I asked, we've been waiting to be commanded. I didn't tell anyone until months later, and one of my Dutch friends, who was very much struggling, she said, "Jonette, that last hour of the day should have been the worst. We had been walking 12 hours. She said, "But it was the easiest hour. It was as if the stones on the trail were lit for us." And remember, I asked for safety and light for my friends. So what I'd like to do now is share a simple tool for you to become more whole, more associated with your body. And then let us hope that we get our bodies more associated with each other and with Mother Earth. Oh, good. I'm not tethered. This simple technique is called soul body fusion.
Well, your light's not on all of a sudden.
I'll use this one for a moment. So, I'm going to tell you about it, and then I'm going to ask for a volunteer. And so what's happened, really, just to draw it, is we've been separated. You know, spirit and matter have been two separate worlds. So we have one world, and this is spirit, and, you know, it comes down, and then we have our matter, our physical self, and we're disconnected. We told the scientists that they're in charge of the physical world, and then the spiritual world we gave to the church and religions, and we haven't quite figured out how to bring them together. And we've become more and more separated, left and right brain. I didn't even know I was separated. I do okay in this world until I did this technique and found that my spiritual self was not in harmony with my cells. In fact, I noticed that my cells were almost in conflict with my spirit. Because why aren't we together? We were meant to be whole, spiritual human beings. So what's happening now, and it's natural in its time, is that these are coming together. This is the most ancient spiritual symbol everywhere, way before the Jewish people. When we go to, I don't say it right, Chinkavenka? What's the name of the cave that we're supposed to? Chinkavenka. In the center of the altar is this sign. In Tibet, the doors to the schools have this sign because it means wisdom. So what we're doing is bringing body and soul together, whatever you call soul. Maybe you're scientific, so you call it higher frequencies. Doesn't matter. We're bringing them together. So I want you to close your eyes and ask to feel the frequency pattern of your body. It's kind of asked to tune into your body, because we all have our own frequency pattern. Okay, don't think too much. All right, now ask to feel the frequency pattern of your highest spirit, your soul, your highest self. Now compare the two. How far apart are they? Are they in harmony? Are they dancing to the same song? Do they even know each other exists? Who wants to say? How far apart are they?
They're far apart.
Far apart. I was shocked. Mine were not together at all. And I thought, oh my gosh, I better fix this. You know, it can't be good. So I didn't know how to fix it. So I just pretended I knew, because that's the best quality of an explorer, right, is to pretend you know what you're doing. So I pretended to take the frequency of my body and the frequency of my soul, take them each hand in hand, and I thought, all right, there must be a place where if I go high enough in the stratosphere of spirituality, they must merge. So I pretended to put my body and soul in a spiritual elevator, push the button, and we went up. And my eyes are closed, I'm totally pretending, and I imagine we come to a place where they're together. So I'd like you to do that. Imagine that you know how to bring the frequencies together. Eyes open or closed, just do it for a moment. Okay. So when I did it, I didn't feel anything. It was just pretend. So I said to the universe, tell me, did I do anything? And I went to breakfast at this coffee shop. And I sat with a lady who had never met me before, and her first words were, wow, you look radiant this morning. No one says radiant before coffee. So I knew that something had shifted in my aura. This woman could feel something different. I was just making it up. So then I thought, well, this is cool. I'm going to try it on people. So I invited people to my hotel room, and I said, you just sit there. I'm going to do this new thing. I'm going to see if I can bring your spirit and your body into alignment. I don't know what to do. The first lady starts shaking. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm a medical doctor. I help everyone and no one helps me. And she's touching her skin and she goes, I've never felt it like this before. So many people sent me so many stories. Some people were healed of addictions. Some people were healed of cancer. Some people of diabetes. Some of autism. Why? Because we don't heal them. The only thing that ever heals us is our highest self. And we have become disconnected. So, I want to volunteer, and here's the criteria. You have to be good at explaining what you feel in your body. So you're really in touch with your body and you can explain it. So who would like to be a guinea pig? Who would like to volunteer? Okay, we only have one person with her hand up. Come on up. Give me 2 chairs.
You do the chair?
Yep, 2. That's my tape. I need 2. I'm going to show you what to do. I'm hoping the Soul Body Fusion book gets published in Romanian because I explain everything. It's not, I'm going to tell you a little and then you have to take a workshop. I want you all to know how to do this on yourself, how to help others. What's your name? Monica. All right, have a seat, Monica. Okay, so I'm going to show you a process, but usually you do it twice for 2 phases of 10 minutes. So what I'd like to see later on today, all around the camp, that you have 2 chairs and you're doing it with each other. And even if people are not here, you can share what you've learned today. We don't have time for all of us to get PhDs in everything. We need to get whole now and come back together in ourselves. Okay, it's so simple, it's scary. It's hard to believe it actually works. Oh, actually, we can't do that. So this is what you'll do. This reason it works is 3 reasons. 1, it's natural. Our spirit wants to be in our body. That's why we were born here. The second reason is resonance. When your spirit has a higher frequency. What happens when you put something with a high frequency in the room with something with a low frequency? Monica, do you know?
The frequency tends to get to the highest.
Yeah. The low frequency moves to the highest. Now, did the high frequency have to say, I need to work really hard to change that low frequency? No. Did the high frequency have to say, I need to send my energy to the low frequency? No. It's just physics that the low frequency begins to dance to the highest energy. That's the way it is. So that's why this happens so quickly. The third reason it works, so 1 is natural, 2 is resonance, 3 is intention. It is our intention that we bring in our highest frequency, our highest spirit, our soul, whatever you want to call it, permanently into ourselves. Permanently. So, this is how you'll facilitate it, because you actually aren't doing anything. Monica and her soul are doing all of it. Thanks. So, we're here. The person who is getting the soul body fusion will sit with their hands up. The reason I do this is people often feel energy come into their hands. Then what I'm going to do is put my hands gently on Monica's fingers. I want you to see I'm not going to cover her hand because this is an important energy center. I'm just touching her fingers. It's all right. So, and I have them rest their hands on their laps so it's comfortable. We're both comfortable. And we set the intention, out loud or silently, that your highest spirit, your highest frequency comes permanently into your cells. And then, Monica, I'll have you close your eyes so you don't have to stare at me. And it's important in this process that you don't meditate, because the point is you want to be here. And most of us who have spiritual lives, as soon as the energy gets high, we fly out the roof. Right? We go, whoa, this is great. So the hardest part is to stay in your body. So you just stay very present. And Monica, your job is to just feel what you feel. If it's nothing, that's fine. If you hot or tingly, then you'll tell us. But for the first few minutes, we're all going to sit silently. And I would like you to sit with your hands up as if you are also asking for your soul, your spirit, to come more permanently into your body. For the first few minutes, we'll be silent, then I'll have Monica tell us what she's noticing in her body. So just close your eyes and be present. Each of you stay present in your body. Notice any sensations you might feel. It's good if you have your hands palms up. Changes you might be feeling in your body.
From time to time, I felt some beam of energy coming into my arms and stepping around my shoulders, my chest. Okay, and after that, now I'm feeling heat coming from your hands and also from my legs, and it's like my hands are staying between two heat sources.
It's important. This is not traditional healing. I'm not doing Reiki. I find the less I do, the more happens, because it's about her and her spirit, not about me. I sit here and I'm present, and I'm holding the intention along with Monica. It's that simple. I like that she felt something in her legs, because a lot of times we can bring the energy in, and for many of us it starts coming down our head or our hands, but for a lot of us it gets stuck in our hips and it doesn't go to our legs. So I always like it when they say, oh, my feet are hot, or I feel something in my legs. It means their frequencies are getting grounded. So you just say any changes that you feel.
Also heat on my back and on my hips. And I'm like my eyes are enlightening. It's strange feeling because I have my eyes closed and I feel a light in the right corner of my right eye.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever they say, I say okay, because everyone's experience is different and everyone's experience is perfect. Some people feel nothing. I felt nothing, yet my life changed. Anything else happening in your feet or your legs, Monica?
No, it's the same feeling. Maybe a little more of heat.
Okay. So the process is simply this. I usually do this for 10 minutes. They can talk. It's good that they talk, because then you know they're not meditating. Then I take a break. And because this is a demonstration, we'll make it a little less than 10 minutes. And I move my hands because the process started. I'm not needed anymore. Sometimes I move back because to give her energy some space. Yeah. And I'll have you say anything else that you felt emotionally or anything else to tell them.
Okay.
Does it work?
Oh yeah, it works. After you took off your hands, I feel like a field between my fingers. It was very strange. And that was all. It was all I can say about it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We won't clap because that'll kind of disturb her energy. Thank you, Monica. What I suggest you all do is drink water, because sometimes the high frequency comes into your cells and it releases toxins and things that have been building up. So you need to drink water to flush out your system, or you could get a headache. Some people feel quite emotional. Some people feel even sick the next day as their body cleans up. So what I'd like you to do is do it with somebody else. 2 sessions of 10 minutes each with a break in between. But now I want to ask you, what happened for you? Who felt something in your body, and what did you feel? Okay?
I felt almost the same as she felt, and I had the feeling before she said.
All right, she said she felt almost the same as Monica, but she had the feeling before Monica said it. Who else? Yes. Yell out.
My body becomes hot, totally hot, and after that cold outside. And in the arms, I feel like there's something hot in the, I'm saying,
Palm.
yes, in the palm. And in the left hand, more hot than the right.
Okay, so he said he felt hot, then cold. Hot is very common, and left hand more than the right hand. For most of us, our bodies aren't even, so you may feel very different sensations. One of the most common sensations is little bubbles in your cells. It's so common that in Norway they call this champagne healing, because it feels like there's golden bubbles, and you can feel tickling in your atoms as they come alive. And it's perfectly okay if you feel nothing. Feeling something isn't a requirement. What I invite you to look for is how your life changes. Some people say, wow, I'm now clear of my mission, because now that I'm whole, I'm confident. Some people are confident enough to break up a relationship that wasn't working. Some people, as I said, have give up addictions. Again, I didn't expect so many amazing stories, and that's why I wrote the book. Questions? So it's a process. It lasts forever.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is, yes, it's a process. Monica did it once. Talk about the benefits of continuing the process, doing it, how often does one do it, that sort of thing.
So what I suggest is the first process is 2 phases of 10 minutes with a break and water. 1 week from today, you do the same thing. If nobody's there, because you're not on the island, you sit there in your chair and you pretend. You can do it to yourself. You don't need someone else. So what I say is do it in 7 days. Then 3 weeks from today, 21 days, do it again. What if you forget the exact day? It doesn't matter. It's all magic anyway. I like to say there are no rules. What if you forget to put your hands up? Who cares? Can you do it too much? No, because your soul is in charge. Your soul is very smart. If you can't handle more energy, it won't bring in more energy. I teach people to do it on others as a way of healing and helping. And I had someone say, well, what if I do it in somebody, they're driving their car, and I haven't asked their permission, and all this energy comes in. I said, don't you think their soul is smarter than that? So, you can do it as much as you want. I find that your soul, your spirit, is the doorway to infinity. There is no end to how much frequencies, how many dimensions you can materialize in your body. It's not finite. And what I find is, using Peter's favorite word, is synchronistic. I find that my life works better. There's more magic. There's more synchronicity. I'm more deeply happy at a cellular level. So I invite all of that for you. And I end with a quote from 18,000 years ago, from an Atlantean goddess. And that's a whole story. It's in the Soul Body Fusion book. But she said, I invite you to give up the vision of what you think you want, so the vision of the future can be unlimited. I invite you to give up the picture of what you think you want, so the vision of the future can be unlimited. Thank you very much.